motherfuckers! I think that's my new fucking start.
And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
Okay, we've almost made it. We're almost there. We are 12 days away from the end of football season for the 2024-2025 season. He's putting on his Grinch hat. I'm afraid of what he's going to say about this game.
And we're just 7 days into a full administration. Woo!
Yeah, I got something I want to talk to you about real quick when we get through football. But ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the flags are already being thrown on Patrick Mahomes because someone breathed in his general direction. 45-yard penalty and 2 touchdowns. Welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Chris Burns, or as the sweatshirt says, the burn. This was the best gift anyone could have ever gotten me. I love this fucking thing. It's
Feel the burn.
That's right. We're going to feel the burn on Speedway Review because between Herm mowing the lawn and me burning down the house, we can call Royce over at Allstate and get all this shit taken care of in about 35 seconds, no doubt.
Royce, my boy.
In the Grinch hat, who spent the first 5 minutes of pre-production coughing his face off, he is the one and only
Christopher Lynch.
And of course,
that Mexican brown.
I'm telling you, yo.
Oh, yeah. Fucking A, right?
And the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair, and he's half the man he used to be. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is
the mayor.
Slightly big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
I'm let's see, 90 pounds, 9. Yeah, I'm like a third less. I'm like the low-fat version of anything at the store. I'm a third less.
Third less fat Herm.
I'm 1/3. I'm the low-fat option.
You are the light. Miller. You are Herm Light. A third less
light.
calories.
I was disappointed the other day. Like my BMI index was really fucking high, and it was like 42%. My BMI was like 42%, according to the calculator.
I think that calculator is bullshit.
I've lost 90 pounds, and I've got bones sticking out of places that I didn't even know fucking existed in July.
Or that you had bones there.
Apparently humans have these things. Look, right here.
Clavicle. You have a clavicle.
You got a collarbone.
Collarbone, bro. Like that. No, I don't. I've never had those before. They must have just grew there. I like.
Herm's the only guy I know who could travel on a plane and not need a neck roll. He just lean like this.
But yeah, like my knees when I sleep now, my own knees, my legs don't have enough meat on them. My own knees hurt myself when I lay down on my side. Like I'm finding myself bony. I'm sexy as a motherfucker in the mirror, but like I'm finding things bony. All of a sudden the dog standing on thing hurts. I'm living a life I've never lived before, guys, and it's
after 52 years, it's finally come. It's finally come to this.
These are really, really fucked up. Like not being the fattest person, or even closest to the fattest person in the room anymore.
It's a good feeling.
I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that.
I'll drink
to
that
too.
New
feeling.
Dude,
kind of
Mountain Dew.
Everybody lift your glasses because I don't know.
Marsh is
sober
the same way right now. He's at the same point. He's getting even less calories a day than I do right now.
Yeah, well, beefaroni. That beefaroni's going to kill him.
For beefaroni and fucking Chef Boyardee mac and cheese.
I got a couple shout-outs I'd like to do real quick. The sober Superman is drinking his Mountain Dew. I don't know what Herm's got. His wife was yelling at him for it. First things first. Happy birthday to the producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair. He is the birthday boy.
Thank you. That was
Michael P.S. Herman.
Mm-hmm. And same day, my friend Mark had a birthday. We don't have to toast to him. He doesn't watch anyway. Thinks we're a little too political and not in that leaning way. And one more. Happy birthday, Pop. Today's his birthday. So
happy birthday, Pop.
talked to Mom today. She's doing good. She got out of the house, went to lunch. She did a little toast at lunch with her friends, her Tuesday afternoon Biddies Club, and
The Red
all-
Hat Society.
Yeah, the
What's
hair,
that?
The Blue Hair
The
Society.
Red Hat Society.
kind of, yeah. It's very much like the Red Hats, except they're the rednecks.
Heard.
Her, Florida.
The Red
right.
Neck Society. It's
Florida woman goes
Woman?
to lunch, orders a bucket of fish.
right.
No, I don't want him dead. I want him alive.
Orders a mimosa and 17 buckets of fish.
That's it. How do you want that cooked?
Fried.
Knock off its horn,
Florida.
knock off its
Fried.
horn, slap
Fried.
it, knock off the horns, slap its ass, and throw it on the plate.
If it's fish, it's Florida. Fry it.
Fry it, yeah.
Deep fry
basically.
that bitch.
So before we talk about our Super Bowl predictions, I'm very much interested in what you guys thought of the games this weekend. They were both tough, one tougher than the other, obviously. But is it just me, or did Washington fail to show up in the second half?
I did
Absolutely.
not see much of that game at all. I was getting my ass kicked on the grill.
Oh. I mean, you could look at the score and figure out what happened. The box score tells the story.
I just didn't. I deduced that they didn't have what it was going to take to.
Well,
But,
I said this to a coworker because they, of course, I'm a football guy. What do you think of the game? I'm like, the Washington Redskins were replaced by the Atlanta Falcons in the second half. You look good, you look tough, you look competitive. You go into the half, it's a nice tight score, and then you let the other team bludgeon the ever-loving piss out of you for the next 30 minutes.
So
It was tough to watch.
you want to hear something very funny?
Mm-hmm.
As I'm watching the game, that Atlanta Falcons Patriots Super Bowl was going through my mind.
Same.
Falcons came out fucking steamrolling. They were ready to fucking win that game. And then I'm like,
The one against
it's slowly
Shut up, Herm.
falling apart.
Right. No, the one against the Broncos. I told you why I told you why they lost that game, right? The graphic. Falcons come out of the box, bam, touchdown. CBS puts up the graphic. The team that scores first has won 28 of 32 Super Bowls. I'm like, it's done. It's over. Well, that plus John
they
Elway
did.
was on fucking fire.
They did the same thing to us against Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
They did the same thing to us in Kansas City. Something about there's never been a return on the first kickoff and a thing. There's never been something started on a kickoff and a goal and stuff. It's never happened, and no team's ever won, and it's ever happened. And it did it, and instantaneously, my father in the fucking living room, just his whole attitude just fucking.
You can't. And I wish sportscasters
He
would
didn't
shut
say
up
it,
about
and
that.
It wasn't bad, and he wasn't belligerent like I would have been. But you could just tell as soon as they said it, he was just like defeat.
Right.
He knew right then and there. It was 91 seconds into the game.
As competitive as this game was on Sunday, the NFC Championship, you watch that first drive, Lynch, and you watch the game, so you know what I'm talking about. The Washington Redskins are chewing up that clock. Redskins, I'm sorry, I don't want to piss anybody off. The Redskins, where
I'm native. I'm okay with that.
there you go.
Yeah.
So Washington is eating up that clock, and they're nickel and diming. They're me on Madden. I want to eat as much clock as I can, score, and try to get the ball back.
Time before I hike.
Yep. So they get down the field, they kick the field goal, whatever. They kick it off, and on the first offensive play, they hand it to Barkley. Barkley goes long-ass yard, 80 plus for the touchdown. And at that point, I said to myself, Philly's going to win this game. What I didn't realize was that the second half, we had the Washington Falcons they did nothing nothing in the second half.
I think that's the quarterback's very young. Right.
Oh no, I'm talking about the defense was the one that fucked it up. If you remember when they're on the goal line and they're getting ready to do the tush push, and number 4 does a super fly snooker over the line.
I was going to say, you mean when he dropped the fucking elbow?
Yep. And okay, So half the distance to the goal, still fourth down. And they're lining up for the tush push. They haven't even snapped it. He does it again. He got back on the top of the cage, saw Morocco on the ground, and went to town.
I was just gonna say, and Morocco is on the ground.
They call him again. So they call him again. Now half the distance to the goal line at this point gives it like a testicle and a half. Yeah, like a testicle and a half to the line. And the referee, I swear to God, I thought they were playing Kansas City. The referee comes out and he turns on the mic. He goes, half the distance to the goal. And if this happens again, we have no choice because you can't go any closer.
Right, there's
What
am I supposed to start like 16ths of an inch? Bitch,
right.
What the fuck?
He cited a rule that has not been used in 59 years. We would have to award the touchdown to Philadelphia. And don't you know, brother man just hung back. I ain't moving. Till I hear Omaha hike.
Yeah. He kept saying Omaha.
That was the dumbest set of plays. I'm not a big fan of that tush push, but I understand it. But Philadelphia did everything right. Their defense was on point. Jalen Hurts. Jaden Daniels is on the other side. That kid put up a hell of a performance for a rookie. I see that team growing and being just as good next year, but man, Philly's been unstoppable the last couple years. I'm not surprised they won. I wasn't rooting for them per se, but I'm really not surprised that Philly is going back to the Super Bowl this year.
I said it a couple weeks ago. Saquon Barkley, man. That the other team made the stupid fucking decision to cut him loose, and he fell into the right team. They work great together. I think they have a great rapport on and off the field. And Jalen Hurts doesn't really seem to be too much of a douchebag.
No, I haven't heard much that he's a problem child or he has an ego or anything.
No, not like his brother, my dick.
Boom. But no, I'm glad Philly is going back to the Super Bowl. I would hoping the other way. I wanted to see the Washington in the big game.
Yeah. What was it I was about to? There was a point I wanted to make in regard to the game and Philly going back to the Super Bowl. Oh, if in the event that this lawsuit that's out there to bring the Redskins name back comes to fruition, and they just it comes about that they're the Redskins again, and the white liberal crybabies who think it's offensive, while the Native Americans are like, "Why'd you take our football team away, man?" I hope
can't have anything nice.
I hope that's a little bit of that extra impetus.
I mean, let's think about it. Let's. I'm gonna go fucking political. I've had 4 beers. I'm 90 pounds less. I'm probably a little fucked up. I'm gonna say it. They are the football team of Washington, D.C., aren't they?
Yeah, technically, yes.
I mean,
they play in Maryland.
Given the executive orders that have been flying the last couple of weeks, the Don could very well decide to rename them the Redskins, McKinley, the Gulf of America. Just saying.
The Washington Foreskins.
I'm just saying that the Washington Redskins could happen just because.
It could happen.
He's got that nigga got a pen.
And the power.
I think with the young squad that Washington has, we're not going to see the last of them in the playoffs.
And they wear red. I'm just saying.
There you go.
There it is.
ICE could be knocking on their door tomorrow. You don't know.
La migra.
No housekeeping. All good.
Put paper on the door.
Not unlike what we said just a couple weeks ago about Detroit and going from a no-win team to being the dominant team in their division and making it to the playoffs for the first time in forever. That team's not going anywhere. Washington can do the right thing, build on the mistakes that they made and come up strong
They
next
didn't
year.
make
But
mistakes. The ref said so.
well, they made mistakes. Let's be honest. Yeah, but to your point, Lynch, I hope that the GM of the Giants was sitting at home watching that game, and his wife was slapping the shit out of him, going, "I told you not to get rid of him. I told you he was our moneymaker." And there's the guy you let go 2 years ago, just making playoff record after playoff record, and the Giants GM was probably in his robe, in the fetal position, crying, knowing that all he had to do, much like Herm said about DJT, all you had to do was sign the order, and you have Saquon Barkley for 4 more years.
Yep, that was so dumb.
Oh yeah, and they got nothing in return.
And that's why the Giants were where they were at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. For the
It's
2 years that Barkley's
all
been
the
with
way.
Philadelphia, the Giants have gone like this, and they keep sinking, and they're going to keep sinking.
Well, they got to get better talent scouts. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah, I don't know how far you're going to get with. No offense to, I love Tommy DeVito, but Tommy DeVito's not the answer. I don't think Drew Lock is the answer.
No.
They've really got no one, and I don't want to say star power because you have to be a certain level of good to play in the NFL. There's no cohesion. They don't play like a team. It's almost as if it's like when you first signed your kid up for T-ball, and they hit the ball, and you've practiced this play a million times, and all 9 kids run for the ball. No one gives a fuck about the kid running. They all run for the ball.
Right.
That's the Giants. That's the Giants that we've seen in the last 2 years.
Absolutely. And there's no anchor to the team. There's no name where you go, oh yeah, he's the wide receiver for the Giants or the tight end. You don't have that name recognition.
On the Giants where you're like, yo, who do you like on the Giants? And there's no pop out name. There's nobody on the Giants right now that
the only player from the Giants that I can think of
there ain't
is
no motherfucker LT up in there.
No, but their tight ends were pretty good this season.
I was going to say,
yes, I'm not saying they don't have players. What I'm saying is they don't have a recognizable name. Not one fucking player on that team that you go, that somebody says, we're playing the game, like,
unless you're.
I'm going to throw out a word and you throw out a word back. The first thing that comes to mind, and you say Broncos, Bo Nix, right now.
Yeah.
You say Jalen Hurts. What's his name? Lamar Jackson. The Giants.
LT.
You literally can't even be like, yo, their offensive line, their defensive, nothing that sticks out as fucking. They're like my fucking KLR, bro. They don't do anything exceptional, but they do. There's nothing they do as a 10, but everybody does their job as a 7.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even worry about name recognition because if you play good enough, you're going to be on those highlight reels. The only one I can really think of, and I watched the Giants all year. I got the foul. We go to Mark's house. Lynch has seen it. All the TVs. We're all kind of Giant fans by proxy. They're our second team. We always watch the good teams are on the big TV. The Giants are over here. Mike Neighbors. That's it. Mike Neighbors. Yep. That's it. That's all they've got. They have no fucking name value. The tight ends played well, but can you name them?
No, that's the problem.
It's not like if I. Right.
The only reason I know I know anything about them is because I had each one of them on different fantasy teams.
Yeah.
As a backup. So I watch those trends. If they're playing well, I keep them in. If they have inconsistent performance, I yank them out and get somebody else.
Yep. When the Falcons started this year, and one of the first games they threw it to number 1, Darnell Mooney. I was like, the guy from the Bears? It was like there wasn't any fanfare. Here he is, and by the end of the season, he was a go-to. People knew his name. Bijan Robinson, Drake London, those were names even their kicker. People know that Younghoe is lights out, but they have that name recognition. Right. They just don't have the cohesiveness. And to speak on the Giants just one more time, you have to play like a team. It was like watching, when you're in college and you watch your buddies go out in the field and play football and everybody wants to be the superstar, that's what was going on. You don't have that with the Eagles. You don't have that with the Redskins. You don't have it with the Lions or anybody who made the playoffs and deserved to be there. And I say that because you hit the marks you needed to hit to make the playoffs. All those teams played like a team, and they got there for a reason. Some of them had deficiencies that were smoke and mirrors all season long. Washington did not. Philly did not. If you look at teams like Minnesota or Tampa Bay or even the Lions, at some point I did say the wheels are going to fall off two of these teams, and I was right.
Yeah, but I like the Lions. You know what?
I do too.
I do too. I do
like
too.
The Lions for one reason and one reason only. Consistently, every year, the Lions knock somebody out of contention that totally deserves
For
to
the playoffs.
fucking be there, but the Lions pull one out of their ass every year.
Except one.
Well, the final that they need to, but
Oh no, you're not knocking anybody out if you go 0-16 however many years ago.
you know what I mean? But basically, every year they knock somebody that everybody's like, they're going right the fuck in, and then they play the Lions and they get wrecked.
Oh, that's a good point though.
And then
No, they're always that determined.
and the next
They're
week
always
the
a determining factor.
Then the next week the Lions lose, but almost every year there's one playoff game where the Lions are there and they fuck somebody out of a spot, and then the next week they lose.
Personal note. Ask baby with the beard. How come you didn't tell me about Frank Gavigan?
That's you, Lynch.
I was going to be a little quick hit at the end.
Okay, we'll work on that. I had it written down. I don't know why I just looked at it now. Okay.
Yeah, as we were going live, I'm like, oh shit.
You worked with my dad for a lot of years, Frank did, so.
Yeah.
Have I ever
He was a
arrested
decent
you?
dude. He always treated me well.
Have I ever arrested you? That's usually the first question you got in your past. Hey, I think I know you. Did I arrest you? All right, so your final
You look
score.
familiar.
Hey,
hold on.
So-and-so. Hi, how you doing? What's up?
Do you recognize me? Hold on.
Have I ever arrested you?
I don't know. Do these look familiar?
Yeah.
Your score out of Philadelphia this weekend: the Eagles 55, the Commanders 23. The Eagles set the NFC record for most points scored in a playoff game. Not a big surprise.
Bravo.
We'll talk about them again in just a little
these
while.
Motherfuckers just be making up new shit to add to accolades and superlatives. Just
No, they don't, because they beat the Falcons record.
Ever, for the first time, as anybody has a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest kicked a field goal from 37 yards.
Slow your roll, Jim Ross. By God, he's a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
A black man with one leg has never kicked a 27-yard field goal while on his head in a snowstorm, Jim. This is an amazing event.
Stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it.
I will stop, but at no point have you said I'm wrong. So
No, I did not. I'm just saying, just stop it. Or as they say on our other show, shut up, Herm.
Shut up, Herb.
All right.
But shut the fuck up.
So then we go to the AFC Championship, and this was one of the closer games that I've ever seen in the AFC Championship. Both teams played great until about 8 minutes to go. And
Bills win.
So did I, man. I think 90% of America wanted the Bills to win.
Wanted the Bills win so bad.
But
Me too.
I do, now that the Chiefs are there. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You know, because you know how we always do this. Who do you think will win? Who do you want to win? It's always a different answer.
I want it to end in a tie because it's Kansas City, and it's Philadelphia, and I don't think any good can come from a win from either team. And there it is.
Well, we'll get to that because I know you had a lot to say in the group chat, so we'll riff on that soon. I thought, again, up until the fourth quarter, that the Bills played a virtually flawless game. So did Kansas City. The refs were not calling stupid penalties in this game, which I thought was refreshing. All the way to the end, the Bills had a chance at the end of that game.
They had to make it look good so they can get into the big one and they can do what they need to do at the big one.
So what you're saying is,
it's like when you tell the bartender, "Look, I'm a little strapped. I'll get you next time." And when you do, and when you come in tomorrow night, you hit the bartender hard. There it is.
what you're saying is,
I said it.
what you're saying is kick out hard at 2.5, and then the
That's
next
what I'm
pin.
saying. And then on the next pinfall, let them go the full 3.
There you go. The mistakes that I saw in that last 8 minutes with Josh Allen, who all year played some of the most flawless football I've ever seen.
Impeccably.
Absolutely.
All year, fucking impeccably. If the universe granted Super Bowl fucking berths just based on consistency and doing the right thing at the right time and playing like every fucking minute meant fucking something, Josh Allen deserved to be in a fucking Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
He'll get there. He will get there.
I'm not a Bills fan. I don't really like the Bills. I'm not a Bills fan. But
I'm slowly becoming a Bills fan because I've been following Josh Allen since he started, and I love him as a quarterback. He's, if you had to ask me who's my favorite quarterback in the entire NFL right now it's him.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
He's an amazing playmaker, and it's just
I'm liking what
he's like Brady. He's like Brady level.
Who are you liking, Herm?
I'm liking Bo in Denver right now. He is working.
And Bo
is very much
was like number 2.
Team.
Yep.
He's young. He's got fucking legs, and if he stays healthy, that kid's going somewhere. But I like.
He's going to be dangerous.
What I saw from year 1 to year 2 was some pretty good shit.
Pretty amazing.
So,
it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, his growth has been phenomenal.
Yeah, like there's been some the player development in this organization is fucking out of this world.
Yeah, the Broncos, and I'm not trying to lick your ass or anything. You know, I'm going to be
because a year ago, right now, we were like, I don't know, bro.
Right. Which is why when our game came up this year,
we didn't know, but the team has fallen in.
Right, and I was overly confident going into the Atlanta-Denver game this year, and it turned out to be, let's smack Kirk Cousins around like we own him. 7 sacks in a game is never good.
But given his length of time with the team, given the way that they are meshing, the way that we just discussed,
that was the point I was about to make. Yeah,
a team needs to have this cohesive thing. Like, this kid's real fucking young, but they let him lead.
Yeah, and it's part of that youth movement that a lot of teams are now starting to embrace, Denver being one. Atlanta, it took a little while, but Atlanta did it. Washington, obviously, you let the rookie do his thing. You didn't need Marcus Mariota. You didn't need Kirk fucking Cousins.
Let's let him cook a little bit and see. Let's see what he's cooking, and then we'll develop a recipe.
So objectively, as a Broncos fan, since Manning left and retired, it looked like their seasons looked like a heartbeat, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Had to a reprieve since Manning left,
and like you said,
that has just been hardship to get to where we needed to get to.
His growth has been phenomenal,
except for that position.
I'm gonna throw something out here, and you guys can agree or disagree or whatever. The more I watch Bo Nix,
my offensive or defensive line.
the more I watch Bo Nix, the more I am impressed with his awareness. Because you see him, and he's set, and he knows the play, and you know you're going to wing it to the wide receiver, but it's almost like he's the greeter at Walmart. While this eye is looking at the wide receiver, this eye's over here, and he's catching the tight end in an open spot. He did it against the Chargers. He did it against Atlanta and a couple other teams where he's looking, and he does like this quick pivot, and he lets go of that ball with lightning fucking speed.
Without letting you see it, he kind of almost.
He can read the defense so well.
He sees everything without you being able to read that he sees it.
Right. Tom Brady had that. And now I'm going to go the other way because we talked about the growth and the maturity coming forward of the Broncos team and how, this was a year for Bo Nix and the Broncos. This is like Stewart's. Look what I can do. Well, guess what? You're going to watch it again next year. You're going to see what they can do. On Lynch's side, if he doesn't go full Bills, as a Patriots guy, how much does it suck to watch that team look like a monkey fucking a football every goddamn week?
It was to be expected.
They did
fully.
That for a long, long fucking time.
The last couple years.
Well, no.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Brady and Bledsoe, they sucked all the fucking time. Every year they were disappointed.
Except for one, which was the Super Bowl with the Bears, and it was Grogan, Tutupu, and one other guy that basically carried them.
That was considered a fluke.
It was because they had the easiest schedule in 85-86. You had a
fluke.
I'll just stick with the AFC East. The Dolphins were decimated. You had Marino and nobody else because all the receivers were hurt and their running back was hurt. You had a Bills team that couldn't win if you spotted them 70 points. And, well, the Jets are the Jets. So, that year...
Then the Jets were the Jets. So
that was just the AFC East. They rumble through the playoffs, and who do they see in the finals before the AFC Championship? The team they've already beaten the shit out of twice, the Miami Dolphins, and they did it again. Then they go up against the monsters of the Midway. They're lucky to have walked out of there with their balls intact because the Bears that year were the most ferocious team in the NFL.
Disgustingly.
15-1, and then go through the playoffs. The loss to the Dolphins was a snow game in Chicago. How Chicago loses in the snow, I'll never understand. But, that was when Marino and his group of scabs just did everything right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a rough season for the Dolphins.
They made the playoffs, though.
The
Dolphins
still did win that game. The Bears lost it, and we all.
Yes, no, you'll never get an argument out of me.
You know what I mean? I know you won't, and that's why I said it. Is we all will agree that they didn't win that game. The Bears lost it.
Right. Now, the thing that I wanted to bring up about the Chiefs, we spent a little bit of time on the Bills and how Josh Allen, impeccable. He's another guy that watching him grow has been a fantastic thing if you're a football fan.
Yes, and develop from a boy from a young boy player to a very sure of himself man commanding his shit.
And on the other side of the field was a guy who had a 2-year head start on him, who right now is the man, in my opinion, Patrick Mahomes. As much as I hate saying it, you cannot deny how good he is. Is he going to be up there on the Mount Rushmore with Montana and Marino and Elway? No, not even close. He could be.
I've always said Mahomes might be great. I just feel he's going to get hurt, and he's just done. He's just going to get crushed and done, and something's going to happen.
Like Bledsoe, his first real injury was his last real injury.
And that's pretty much it. Like, he's fine. He's been healthy and perfect. And I feel that shit. He went to the well one too many times, Bobby.
Thanks, Gorilla.
And
well, here lies the question then.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a
Theismann career-ending injury, and Theismann was completely healthy and then was done.
Okay, what's your question, Lynch?
Do Do they have a contingency plan?
That's a good question, and I kind of knew that was going to be your question. I'm looking up the Chiefs right now.
No, they don't.
Who on the Chiefs for
don't.
backup
That's-
quarterbacks do they
that's-
have? Can you name
That's why my
one?
you can't. That's why my gut says there is some fucked up career-ending dynasty injury that is going to happen, because that's the way life works.
Their
You've
backup
got no fucking backup plan, bro, and that's when life hits the fucking hardest. We all know it.
the backup quarterback
Yep.
for this season on a 1-year deal. Remember that, a 1-year deal. Dude was paid to hold a clipboard this year. Carson Wentz. Exactly. Look at how excited.
Quarterback.
Look at how excited everybody got when I said his name.
He's a decent quarterback.
Sean Mooney.
He was.
Who? He was a decent quarterback.
He was.
Yeah.
And then, Pineapple Head.
So who else they got? Who's deeper than him?
I'm looking now. It's only showing me QB1, QB2. Okay, here's one. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got Carson Wentz. They're not showing a third.
There isn't a third string. There's no depth chart for quarterback in fucking Kansas City, bro.
Not in Kansas City. You don't need it, really.
No, there's Mahomes, who's healthy, and a clipboard holder.
Well, that's my point. You're absolutely right. If he has one really serious injury and that fucking kills
We
the rest
all
of his
know
career,
that the big
they're
bill
fucked.
doesn't- We all know that the big bill and the big thing doesn't happen until we just spent our savings covering something else that that was going to be a good move, and wasn't forever, and we don't have a backup plan right now, but we're okay for right now because things will be fine. And as soon as you do that, something fucking happens, and your $20,000, a tree crushes your shit and some fucked up shit. That's just what shit happens. They have no backup plan. Their backup plan is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like, I can't even call it a contingency plan. It's literally a complete lack of a plan. It's
What was it? What was it we used to say back in the day, Herm? H&P. That's their backup plan. Hope and pray.
Hope and pray, because they got nothing laid out in case something bad goes happen.
No, and again, I'm not trying to beat the Falcons horse to death, but they draft Michael Penix and they know he's got to get some reps and some seasoning. He did the off season, but they go out and sign Kirk Cousins to this mammoth deal, which I said then and I'll say now he didn't deserve. But when Penix got his shot, he shined. You have to start him early. I don't care who you are. I could look at other teams that have these aging quarterbacks that are almost aged out of the league right now, and you've got somebody behind them that it happened in Minnesota. They drafted J.J. McCarthy, which I thought was a brilliant move, and McCarthy gets hurt. They got Sam Darnold, who has sucked everywhere he's gone, and he was a powerhouse this year. The problem was, eventually, the real Sam Darnold came out, and he spent more time on his ass than a hooker. Unfortunately, it happened during the playoffs, which sucked because I would really have liked to see Minnesota go further in the playoffs this year. They were a tough, rough and tumble team. The fact that it took that last game between the Vikings and the Lions to decide who was going to win the NFC North, it doesn't get better than that. But you did it with Sam fucking Darnold. The rest of that team, top notch. When J.J. McCarthy gets healthy, next year he's going to come out. The Vikings are going to be a better team.
Right.
But Sam fucking Darnold
Right.
sucked everywhere he went. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. You can look it up. It's kind of like, what was his nuts there? Chad Pennington.
Yep.
Oh. And the kid you guys have, you had one, Mac Jones, who was a bucket of suck. Now you have Drake May, who's a bucket of suck. I think with their draft pick, the Patriots need to look at a quarterback and hope and pray, and whoever it is you pray to, that he's going to be better than the last two morons you picked up.
I mean, just put yourself in their shoes. Who do I pick out of this pool of talent? Do I want to put all my eggs in one basket on this fucking kid or not?
I would say it objectively, because I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm not a Patriots hater, but I'm a guy that doesn't cheer for them to win often. The defense was solid this year.
Mm-hmm.
Very few mistakes.
He was very good.
But the offense couldn't score. If the offense can't score, you're not counteracting the other offense scoring. You're basically giving the game away. If you get that QB1 in the draft, you have all year to work with him until all off season, I should say, until we get to the preseason. Now you have Drake May and whoever QB1 is you drafted out of the university of wherever the fuck, and you fight for the job the old school way. No more of this, I'm QB1 because I make $44 million.
Right.
That's what New England needs. A sure-footed look at, again, Herm brought it up. You had Bledsoe, you had Brady, and then you had the edge of my butthole for a quarterback. Terrible. This is a team that was a dynasty for 20 fucking years. Now they can barely win 7 games.
Right.
It's terrible. And I often said in the last 20 years that the Patriots had become America's team, and it's looking like the Chiefs are doing that now because Dallas will never be America's team ever again. I hope every Dallas player enjoys their White Claws and their finger butt catalogs while you're watching the game next week. Fuck you.
No, thank you.
Hate the goddamn Cowboys. And I said it. So anyway, we'll talk about the Chiefs and the Bills briefly before we go into predictions. Again, I can't say it enough. This was one of the few games where the referees did not decide the outcome of this game. They did call some really, really good penalties, and there weren't many. This was a really clean game. I was very surprised at how clean this game was. But when the chips are down and Josh Allen got a little frazzled in those last 8 minutes, you saw not only the Chiefs' best defense right now in the last 5 years in football, but you saw how when the opportunity went back to Patrick Mahomes, he was like a surgeon. I have this much time. I only have to get so far. I don't even have to score a touchdown. They scored. I just have to burn the clock. And he did it. Other teams want to go for that big ESPN highlight, Hail Mary Jones. I want to get another touchdown. I want to get the T-shirt and the hat and the MVP trophy. Nope. Mahomes just went dink, dunk, fuck you, dink, and basically wore that clock down.
Yep. And sometimes that's how you have to win a game. When you're if you don't have to fight for points, why? Why waste the energy? And why give up them the opportunity to pick up the ball and score on you?
Yeah. You remember my Madden tournaments. People would get mad at me because I was dinking and dunking. Well, why are you taking so long? All I have to do is move 10 yards, and then I get a fresh set. Then I have to move 10 more yards. I don't want the highlight reel. I want to wear this clock down, get the points, and then hold you from getting more points than me. Well, that's not how you play Madden. No, that's not how you play Madden. That's how I play Madden.
Right.
Except Herm, I'm surprised, did not come out with the Tecmo Super Bowl thing because I invented the coast-to-coast touchdown pass.
I was going to say, you just do the Tecmo loop.
He did the Herman loop, which was fantastic. He'd have this running back, and he'd run this L pattern, and as the defender's coming, he would just move the joystick in a circular direction, and everybody would dive, and he'd
run, and it would confuse the living shit out of the computer.
The computer AI.
And then I'd run, and then do a circle and run.
Yep.
It was beautiful.
But I would do this to Herm. I would hike the ball, and I would drop back all the way to the end zone. I don't care if I hiked it on the 50-yard line. I'm like, Herm, I'm going coast to coast. Fuck you, you better not. Okay.
Yo, and for 30 minutes in here, hike.
And I would sit there in the end zone, and as soon as the defender came, I'd fire off the ball, and there's my receiver in the end zone. Touchdown! But those games were different. The Madden games the games that they have now are more close, are very much closer, not more closer. That's
Reggie
stupid.
Cobb.
Fuck Reggie. Al Noga. Christian Okoye with the touchdown. Anyway, we're aging ourselves badly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I'm playing Madden, I want to do it as close to the real thing. I don't care about the 79-yard bomb. I want to move this ball 30 feet. That's all I want to do. And then once they say first down, I want to move the ball another 30 feet. I want to eat as much of that clock as I can. So while you're going for these deep dive balls that may or may not connect, I've already beat you. And I'm moving and I'm grooving. Until my kicker misses the fucking kick and Lynch beats me to go to the finals.
Dude, what a crazy fantasy season it was.
I know.
I mean, I was at the top, then I was down in the middle of the pack, and then I creeped my way back up in the last 4 weeks.
Yep. In Billy's league, I came out like a shot, and then I had a rotten middle, and then the end was good, and then the semifinals killed me. But it is what it is.
I didn't do so hot.
That's all right. So, Herm, Kansas City is in your division. You probably see Kansas City more. Oh, you're kind of answering my question. Ish. Is this team for real, or is Kansas City, like we said about other teams, smoke and mirrors?
I think the team is for real. I think they just get a little more airtime and a little more, they're the fucking poster boy for the poster child for the NFL. They've got a lot of shit going for them, with one of their players banging Taylor, and yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're not a legitimate team. I mean, there's a lot of coincidence and a lot of shit with calls that they get. I'm not sure what the correlation is. It wouldn't surprise me if years down the road it turns out that somebody was getting some money from somewhere and somebody's lips get loose. But yeah, I mean, for right now, I think they're legit.
Okay.
I think we have to. I mean, either they're all legit or none of them are legit.
Right. Either it's the NFL or the XFL.
Right, or the WWE. So
Same.
same, you know what I mean?
Same.
It's either real or it's Memorex, bitch. Whatever.
All right. I'm an NFC guy, so I'm kind of the outlier here. I'll ask Lynch because you are an AFC guy. Kansas City Chiefs, are we looking at a for real dynasty team going forward, or is this going to be the final stop on their whistle tour?
It could go either way for them.
Did he do it again?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even think even if they lose, it's the end of their dynasty tour. I mean, I think they've got some shit going on. I think they're too popular for that to.
All right, he's back.
Go, Lynch.
It could go either way for them. It's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a very, 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 very tight game, I think. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, runaway. They could very well be the next dynasty team.
When you look back, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And the coach they have being the winningest coach for either championships or the Super Bowl. I mean, come on. He's a big factor in that whole organization.
Consider this. This may be the first time this has ever happened, and Herm's going to go off the rails and talk about the one-legged guy with three testicles and a finger in his nose. You have a guy who was the winningest coach for the franchise that he currently coaches. They're going against, on February 9, the team where he's the winningest coach in their franchise history. the dude, Andy Reid's a Hall of Famer no matter how you look at it, and knows what he's doing, obviously. But I think when he signed on to coach KC, that he thought they said KFC, and he took the job sight unseen.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead.
He's just an amazing coach. He always has been, and he is the glue in that team. So I mean, they wouldn't play that well if they didn't respect him.
Right, and I'll answer the dynasty question as well. Again, being the outlier, I'm an NFC guy. I tend to watch the NFC more. When you look at the dynasties of the past, Pittsburgh, Dallas, the Giants, the 49ers, the Patriots, they had two things in common: a really, really good head coach and a really, really stellar quarterback. And the Chiefs had both of those right now. And it would not surprise me if they knock off a couple more championships. It would not surprise me if they become the team of the decade or what have you. What happens, and we've all seen it with these, dynasty teams. Look at, I don't mean to, yes I do actually. Look at Denver after they won those 2 straight Super Bowls. One against Green Bay and the game we don't talk about because fuck Herm. Once Elway retired, the wheels came off. They had a really good run. They go to a couple Super Bowls. They lose.
Yeah.
They lick their wounds. They come back. They win 2 straight.
They did, but you got to remember, we shortly after Elway left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once Elway left, the wheels came off. But if you can go to that many Super Bowls, I think you went to in that decade. You went to 5. You won 2. That's still a good batting average. You're batting .400. It's pretty fucking stellar. It's not like the Bills. You went to 4, you lost all 4.
There we go.
In a row! In a row! What?
Am I back?
You're back.
I lost sound for a second.
I'm sorry.
Hello.
The question was about the Broncos.
Well, no, I was using the Broncos as an example, but the Chiefs being on this trajectory right now, 2 straight Super Bowls, they're looking to make.
Remember, after we lost that, we lost Elway.
After you beat Atlanta, you lost Elway. Yeah, you retired.
Right, we lost that coach quarterback combination.
You also lost Davis. Who's the other guy? Fucking nightmare. Sharp. A lot of those guys petered out after that.
Right. Well, that was close to the end of their careers, and I mean, Davis was just an injury that fucked up something that was, that was a fucking was a rock and roll song, that his career.
Yeah.
It was a shooting star and fizzled out early.
I was thinking of that song when you said that. I'm like, he's gonna reference shooting star.
But
Davis was a wide receiver.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's just the way it went down. But we lost. What we lost was, in regards to the conversation we were having, was the quarterback and the coach.
Mm-hmm. That combination.
You can kind of work with and work around, and you can, but you lost that.
Yeah, Aikman and Johnson, Belichick and Brady.
And it took till Peyton came back for us to have it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we lost it. And
I think this.
I'm feeling we kind of got it with Nick right now. We have that top leader. We have that general sergeant thing going on.
Mm-hmm. I don't think, and I'll go to Lynch after this because I want to hear what you have to say. Every quarterback suffers that one debilitating loss that changes everything. I don't think Patrick Mahomes has had that debilitating loss yet. Do you?
Nope, absolutely not. If this could be the one, this could be it.
I mean, they're going right now. This will be the 3rd straight Super Bowl. No other team has done this except me on Madden. No other team has done this ever. There are teams that have made 3, 4 straight Super Bowls. Nobody's ever won 3 in a row. This could be history. If he loses this game, do I think it knocks his confidence down? No, because those core guys keep coming back. And they find ways to fill the holes that, this player left. I like that guy. Bring him in. Andy Reid is out Belichicking Belichick. That Belichick did for 20 years. Because
I can agree with that.
they're just dominant. And it's scary dominant.
Yeah.
And if Kyle Pitts hadn't gotten raped in the end zone during that game, Atlanta would have beat Kansas City. Those prick fucks.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter.
Yeah, no, not at all.
All right. So we've come to the point where I'm going to ask you, starting with Herm. You can give reasons all you want. Who do you want to win the Super Bowl, and who do you think will win the Super Bowl? And if they're the same, they're the same.
They're the same, and I want and think the Eagles are going to do it.
Ooh. Okay. What is briefly or longly? I don't care. Why do you think the Eagles are going to win?
Because I want them to.
Oh, well, that's good. Who ate the cookies? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because I want them to. Hey, it's an honest answer. It's all I can ask of you.
There it is. Who's going to win? The Eagles. Because I
Why?
demand it. Because I fucking demand it. That's why.
He's putting the cigar and the rum up for Joe
Because
Boo to make sure.
I decree so. That's why. I decree it.
Herm said it, therefore it is. You heard it here first. Lynch, who do you want to win? Who do you think will win?
I'm going to answer the same way as Herm. I think and want that the Eagles are going to win. I think
Which
this
will have a
is
more
their
technical
season to
answer.
win. This is their season to win.
Okay.
Actually, it's their game to lose. I think they have the advantage. I think they have the advantage here.
I actually think the other reason is because I'm a cynic, and isn't that Jason Kelsey's former team?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why. I think because after that nigga fucking left, then the year after that, they're going to win. That's the other reason I think the Eagles.
Okay.
I think
For all
the
this-
universe is just going to be like, fuck you. Keep doing your Lucky Charms commercial, bitch.
For all the same reasons you guys gave, I want the Eagles to win. But for me, I'm an NFC guy. I will root for the NFC team in the Super Bowl as long as their name is not the New Orleans fucking Saints. Fuck the Saints. I will never root for you. I did that one time because it was the Colts you were playing, and fuck the Colts too. But I'm an NFC guy. I want to see my half of football, of the football world, win every single time. I actually think you're wrong on one point. This is Kansas City's game to lose. This is history in the making. 3 straight Super Bowls. No one's ever done it before. I'm going.
Before with everybody else has done 2 in a row.
Yeah. But then again, I get to wear this shirt.
And they ain't done it.
I get to wear this shirt that I bought on TeePublic 2 years ago for their first Super Bowl. For this,
Yeah. Go Taylor, boyfriend.
it's funny. Nikki Glazer made that joke at the Tom Brady roast. I only started watching football because Taylor Swift said it was okay. And that's really, for a lot of females, that's really their introduction to the NFL, other than, oh my God,
but
babe,
I mean-
are you watching football? You got a big, strapping, burly guy who, look, no homo here, he is a good-looking guy. And he's
Yeah,
banging the
good-
biggest pop star in the
He's
world?
a good-looking dude. He's got a pretty decent personality. He's affable.
Marketable.
He's also a good to very good player. I wouldn't say he's one of the
You know what
best.
I mean? He does some good charity work.
Him and his
I'm not begrudging him or her. In the NFL, the NFL is using everything they can. All right. If she was banging some NASCAR dude, they'd be doing it.
You're right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're
If she
right.
was banging a NASCAR driver, they'd be fucking broadcasting that bitch.
They'd show her in the booth at Talladega. Just
More than the fucking race. I'm just saying. You and I both know it. We
yeah, but
know
what now?
Look, they're whores. let them be whores. Let's not call it what it's not.
But what NASCAR would do right is any track that she's going to be at that doesn't conflict with her touring schedule, she'd be singing the national anthem every fucking week. Every fucking week. Like, hey, we're at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as you are able for the singing of our national anthem. Here is 3,421-time Grammy-winning artist and Kyle Larson's girlfriend. Kyle Larson's married, but I had to use a name. Taylor Swift. And everybody in the crowd, 100,000 people would lose their shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, NASCAR would definitely whore that right out.
Because they're good at whoring shit out.
Yeah,
You gotta be.
Wanted a small amount of discretion, but also a small amount, but also wanted capitalization.
Yes.
I respect that.
Could you imagine? Look, here's the one thing that Taylor does wrong. She's got the hoodie or the jacket. Could you imagine if Taylor were dating? I'm trying to think of somebody single. I don't know their marital statuses.
Right, releasing some bedazzled fucking Kyle Larson or whoever the fuck the boyfriend is version of a Taylor jacket.
No, even better. When she shows up at the races, she's got
hasn't done that glittery shit. I really am.
Get her if she were dating a NASCAR guy. You get her own fire suit.
We just gave these niggas $1 billion.
Yeah, we did. Pay this ass.
You owe us money. Just we're saying.
That's right.
McDonald's.
Junction Dysfunction Show at gmail.com. McDonald's, NASCAR, and the NFL. Here's where I'm going to tell you where the NFL is screwed up because I'm going to Herm's point.
Because I am scared.
You make a jersey that you sell on your website of the Travis Kelce 87, and you only bedazzle the number on the chest, on the shoulders.
The glitter, like the pillows, the ones where when you swipe it, it's regular, and then
home and away.
Yes, home away something, bro. I'm telling you.
But you put her name on the nameplate rather than Travis Kelce. They could not keep that in stock. I swear to God, that would be the biggest thing they could do.
As we develop as we develop and market product. But
right.
For real, like if you're gonna do it, just do it. Go all the way.
They're losing out, and if I were Taylor, I'd sit at home and diddle myself all day long. But if I were Taylor, I would go to the NFL. I'd say, I license this to you, my name, my likeness, make the jerseys and sell them, but I get X amount of the cut. And she's making bazillions on touring and records and downloads. Imagine how much more.
A lot. He's going to sell more of them than God could.
Oh yeah, just take 10%. Take 10% of the gross, and you're living large.
1% done, and that's it.
Even better. You want to show, because she is very charitable. I give her a lot of credit. She is very charitable. Take that 10% cut and cut it, and say, I'll take 2%. The other 8% goes to cureyourass.com.
Cure your ass.
Which only goes to Lynch. So, cure your ass, Lynch.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I have to take a quick breather, but I did need to ask Herm a question politically. But what else do you guys got to talk about real quick?
I mean, not much. I mean, we've got, we have the new deep, it's been a week. We have a new deep state as it appears.
All right. This is the part where I'm going to roll out. I'm going to let Herm talk. I have questions, and only you can provide the answer.
I mean, we've got ICE is apprehending people at what appears to be, they told us that they were just looking for criminals, but it appears from some of the numbers coming in, Chicago, and some other towns, cities, that having much higher rates of collateral damage on brown people. Chicago arrested 1,200 people yesterday, and about 50% of them weren't illegals. So the narrative that they're only looking for criminals isn't really on the street. Isn't really what we're seeing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I need a gun more to keep myself safe now than I did before the election.
Damn straight. Fucking A, man. Well, scary. Fucking scary. But, collateral damage. Oops, I didn't mean to arrest these guys.
Yeah, but
My mistake. My bad.
yeah, but that's the thing is they are, and now they're in the system, and there's a lot, man. Funding cut. There's organizations that are that were receiving federal money that he's cut off, that were doing like defending of immigrants. They've been told to basically send a stop work order. I don't know, man. It's definitely some. There's a lot of shit gone down in the last week.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah. Uh, I hope it gets a little bit more organized and they keep their shit straight from that whole Chicago thing. That was kind of weird. You can have this argument all day long, and it's if you came in here the right way, I got no problem. But if you circumvented and cut the line and didn't do it the right way, you're breaking the law. And there's a process, and let the process work its course. It may take longer, but the end result will be that you'll feel safe and you'll have an opportunity if you give yourself the push. I'm okay with that.
What people? I'm sorry.
But if you're here illegally, you're soaking up resources that really could go to the people that really deserve it.
I'm of a mind, and I know President Trump has said it, America first. I don't necessarily think Donald Trump and I think about America first the same way. But to your point, and you and I have gone round and round with the Sunshine Gang today.
Yeah.
On a certain site. Have you ever tried to move to another country? Any of you? Because they don't just let you walk in. You have to go through a process. Why should we be the only one, we being the United States, painting with a giant broad brush, and say, well, you just want to come in? Yeah, come on in. Just do it. Do it, and we'll feed you, and we'll house you, and we'll do all this, and the sanctuary city bullshit, and all of that. I'm with you. If you do it the right way, welcome with open arms. If you come here illegally and you're an asylum seeker and then you go through the process like a gentleman that works with me, I'm all for it. But the small amount of people, and I'm saying this because it's true, there's a small amount of people that come here that are not on the up and up and are part of gangs and misdeeds and whatnot. That's a small amount of people. A larger amount of people come here illegally seeking asylum that either don't go through the process or the process is taking too long or yada, yada, yada. I think this should be a case-by-case basis rather than a blanket catch and grab bullshit that we've seen.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but the law is the law. And I because all of a sudden some of these crazy leftists that I've seen online have suddenly become experts on the Bible and experts on law and order when for many years they ignored law and order. Can you figure out where you fit in this world? Because you've told me, not you guys, but crazy leftists, and I'm talking about the real far leftists, about my religion. They're allowed to tell me I'm a bigot or a racist or I'm this or that, and all now of a sudden it's, I wish things were kinder. And I'm like, oh, the party of joy and tolerance is finally coming around. Interesting. But it is what it is. Herm, I've got a question for you. And this is only because of one post, and I'm going to illustrate this point by all the morons, none of them named Michael P.S. Herman, that I see posts, eggs are still $6. What happened? Well, it's been 7 days. Well, gas price. It's been 7 days. Well, it's been 7 days.
No, and actually, if you want to get technical, gas prices are actually going up.
Correct.
And there's a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
The reasons is that Trump has vowed to drill, baby, drill.
Mm-hmm.
This will probably come back to where you're going, maybe.
Probably.
We talked earlier, but see, everybody thinks that gas is a world market, and gas isn't. And everybody wants to know what the American gas market is, and there isn't one, bitch. There isn't. Gasoline and oil, or oil in general specifically, is a world market. So if you've seen your gas prices go up a little bit lately, in the last week, more than likely the reason is because if Trump has vowed to drill, baby, drill, then those countries that want their money will back their production off. So if we're going to make more, because oil is a world market and not just a U.S. market, you fucking heathens. If we say we're going to make more, then the rest of the world that has oil and produces it goes, okay.
Go fuck yourselves.
No. Fine. No problem. We'll just make less.
Mm-hmm.
And and everybody's like, it doesn't work that way because somebody else, it's a different country. No, bitch, that's exactly how it works.
Mm-hmm.
It's a world market. It doesn't matter. If we
Louder.
If we decide we're going to make more, somebody else just makes less, and it all balances out, and the money just stays the same. It's just the way it works. Thank you.
To your point. To your point about the eggs and shit like that, there's this thing called
fucking flu, guys, and everybody thinks,
flu.
"Oh, it's the law." No, it's not. Last year, when Colorado experienced it, it was because they said, "Look, we are going to make you go to." Colorado stepped it. Okay, we made them go from teeny tiny cages to requiring a little more space. And then said, you have 2 years to a year and a half or whatever the fuck it is. Because you guys remember when I was paying $10 for eggs.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys have like a year and a half to come up to whatever the standard is that we're giving you. So, yes, when that happened to us, it was because they mandated that there was some small shit and farms had to keep up, and they had time, and it took a while for them to keep up. They gave them time to get up with it, but that's how it was. They didn't, and they fought and they bucked, and then they made the rule, and the rule went into effect. Well, the rule just went into effect for us for even more stringent, and everybody's fine. Our problem is the bird flu.
Yes.
Everybody's problem is the bird flu.
If one chicken comes positive with avian flu, they kill the entire flock.
States have enacted certain rules in conjunction with a bird flu, which is right around the time it happened for us here in Colorado. They made the restrictions, and then there was a bird flu. So we had to import specific cage-free eggs from out of state, and they got fucking expensive. And then the eggs went back to like $3 and whatever they were. And it took some time, but it happened. And now we've hit a flu, and the eggs are a little pricier now, but not crazy, because everybody knew that our law was going to affect this year, and all of the farms were ready to do it and are good. Mm-hmm. Our prices and everybody's prices are truly just affected by this flu. You lose half of the egg-laying hens in the country. supply and
You're kind
demand.
of fucked.
I was just about to say supply and demand.
Supply and demand dictates your eggs go up, guys. It's not.
Well, it's like,
it's not-
and I'll use your point. I'll use your point as an example
President
because
Trump can't do a fucking thing about it.
you're right. You're speaking from the Colorado perspective. You're in Colorado. You can speak to what's happening in Colorado, and that's fine. And we've had this conversation on both sides of the fence. Yes, Herm, you're right, or no, Herm, you're an idiot. Because if it doesn't affect me, it shouldn't. Well, it affects the entire world. I have a friend who lives in Massachusetts who is crying the blues about this and that and the other thing, and all his friends are coming in about. We'll start with the egg prices because he did it just 2 days ago. Oh, look, President Trump has not lowered the egg prices. I'm still paying $8 a dozen. Guys from Connecticut, guys from Maine, guys from Vermont, guys from Wisconsin are going, I don't know what you're doing. We got $5, $3, $4. He's like, well, I live in Massachusetts, asshole. Oh, so Massachusetts is the heartbeat of America now? Go
For
fuck
eggs?
yourself. Yeah, basically, because that's what this asshole is doing. He's putting his little circle and saying, it's not working for me, and President Trump promised this. It's been 7 fucking days. Speaking of which, it's been 7 fucking days. Herm, I'm calling you on the carpet. I love you. You know this. You're one of my best friends in history. But if I see one more post like this, only 207 more weeks to go. It's going to be the longest 4 years of your fucking life. And for you, I know this is comedy.
Oh,
I get this.
I was being comical. I was like,
I just said that. But for all these people,
go, guys.
for all these people who, for the last 7 days, I have not heard more grown-ass adult human beings cry the blues this hard after 7 fucking days. We have collectively. Go ahead, please.
Look, I'm going to defend that position. All right. I am a grown ass fucking adult.
You are.
I can honestly say that this is the most tumultuous 7 days, first 7 days of a presidency I've ever seen in my life, sir.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
This nigga makes Reagan second term look stable.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm not freaking out, but the fact that this is where we are 1 week, 7 days into 7 full days into his administration, and the amount of stress that an administration is causing its people in general on either side, there's nothing unifying about it. And where this administration is going is honestly, as a human being, just kind of scares me. I'm seeing some shit that scares me. I'm seeing some shit that very much looks like racism isn't okay, but looks very much white supremacy in standards and practice.
I haven't seen it, but again, I'm not taking away from your.
I'm going by. I'm going closer to home.
Yep.
And what I've seen.
Okay.
And heard. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't know what I can honestly say I don't know what my level of hopeful is for this administration, seeing the first week and how just kind of crazy it is. Things that were rolled back, things that were added in because we didn't realize, things that were tried just because for the value of saying that I tried it. And nobody understands that. Like, a lot of the things he's proposed, like, are I don't remember what the specific issue is.
Mm-hmm.
The birthright thing.
Okay.
He tried to roll. It's not going to go through.
Oh no, I thought that was hilarious when he got shot down, and they were like, "Mr. President, you can't do that.
You can't do that," and that's the whole thing. But the fucked up thing is that he can't do that. But what he can go back to is his people and tell them, "Hey, to the racist fucks that support him, and go, hey, I tried. They just wouldn't let me.
Can I open a can of worms that I don't think we've ever opened up on this show? And I know we got 9 minutes left, and there are racists on both sides, and here's what I'm going to say. There are crazy far-right jackasses who will follow Trump into the fires of hell and carry his flag and believe in white supremacy, but the left is also racist because to the
They
left,
are.
to
They
the
are.
left,
What I-
to the left, the heterosexual white man is the devil.
Well, to the far left, I can kind of agree with that. But my issue with the right is that it's an administration that I don't know if that legitimizes it's all right to hate other people is what I feel. It's all
But
right
they
to hate
both do it. They both
I
do it,
understand
though.
that. I understand that, but nobody administrate. But administrating that way is completely different than they both feel that way. Administrating that way is different, and I'm scared.
I mean,
And like I said to Lynch, I will carry a gun more with me now
Mhm.
than I did before this administration took office.
I'm not going to take away from your fear, and I'm not going to tell
Because
you
now
that.
I'm white, and here I'm a minority here, and now
Mhm.
everybody here that's brown, I will carry a gun everywhere I go because now I have to fear just being white.
The difference between the three of us, and if Marsh were here, I would include the four of us, and everybody else, is that we actually employ critical thinking, not the kind that the buzzword kids want you to believe is critical thinking. We actually think about things and react to them and talk calmly about them. When 2 weeks ago, the sitting president of the United States called more than half of America garbage for wanting to vote for Donald Trump, whether they're the far right pointy hat wearing racist, or if you're just a regular guy on the street who just thought Trump was a better choice than Harris. Well, if you're part of that MAGA movement, then you're trash. That's divisive. That's terrible. And the left ate it up, and the left just loved it. And I was like, that's right. Everybody trash. Everybody trash. It's as if everybody on the far left, hear me out, not Democrats in general, but everybody on the far left every day at 11 o'clock gets together, circle jerks watching The View, and listens to Sonny Hostin, whose husband is a felon, so she should stop using that word, and Whoopi Goldberg spew their hateful bullshit. I'm sorry, but it's true.
It's just interesting with that group of people is that not so many years ago they embraced Donald Trump with open arms.
Oh, yeah.
several times on their show, and they love Donald. He was a great white man. And flash forward a decade, it's been within the last decade. He's evil. He's disgusting. He's this. He's that. He's the third.
Yeah, but
They're not lying.
The rest of us don't see it. The rest of us don't see it that way. The rest of us have seen him for the piece of shit that he is for the last 35, 40 years.
Bill Clinton got a blowjob in the Oval Office, yet they canonize him. Trump,
I have no problem
look,
with
I
that.
think every politician, top to bottom.
That's not my issue. That's not my issue. He's a horrible fucking human being. That's my issue. I don't give a fuck how well he does in business, how many companies he runs into the fucking ground and bankrupts. He's a horrible fucking human being. Now, I'm not the most amazing fucking human being on the planet, but I think I'm better than he is. Straight up.
Yeah.
I'd vote for you twice before I vote for DJT.
Look, we knew back then
Yeah,
when he was being
I feel
beat
the same
up,
way.
and I'm not a fan of Rosie O'Donnell, but we saw the way he beat her up one side, down the other for this, that, and the other thing. She's fat, this, that, and the other thing. He's just a bully. And look, as a bully.
But wait, hold on. I'm not defending him, but she started it.
Fucking bully who used to fucking bully the entire fucking cafeteria. an entire fucking freshman class at once. He's a bully, and he's never grown the fuck up, and that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to put myself on a pedestal real quick. There was only one guy that never backed down from Herm.
Yeah, it's true. And you got saved by like 7 fucking teachers holding me back.
Did it matter?
Stop. No. I'm just saying. And that's the truth, but that's the truth. It's just clarification it's just transparency.
Live or die. Live or die. He was an intimidating dude. He's still an intimidating dude.
You did it. You lived because there was like half a dozen teachers in that room.
Live or die.
But the fact is, he's a horrible human fucking being, and I don't think he deserves the position he has, regardless of how many people think he's awesome. I honestly think people that voted for him, they're not the best.
All right. You said two. You said.
Back, bro. That's it.
You said two words. You said 2 words that sum up everything I've said about the left, and I'm going to praise you for them. Those words were, I think. I think Donald Trump is a garbage human being. I think I don't.
My personal opinion.
Bingo. You also said, I think.
It's not a fact. For me, it's a fact because I believe it, and that's the truth to me. That motherfucker is a piece of shit.
But the best thing you did,
whatever the fuck you want. That's what
the best thing you did in that sentence was you said basically with those 2 words, this is my opinion, this is how I feel, this is how I think. You did not present it as fact. And if you look at some of these crazies out there, they just think if I say it, it must be true. Now, I don't know how. I don't know.
Piece of shit. And now I ask you to ask me why, and then I will go into depths as to why I think he is.
As it should be.
That's how an adult business too. I think he's a piece of shit. Why? This, and this. That's my logical reasons.
Bingo. Look. I'm gonna roll it out to you. 2016 voted for Gary Johnson. 2020 voted for George Jorgensen. Wrote in my vote this time for Ron DeSantis, who I thought would make a great president, but that's neither here nor there. What my problem is that the country is and Lynch is going to back me up because we just went round for round with some of the dumbest among us today. Is if you don't agree with one side or the other, they put you in a box. Oh, you don't agree with the liberals? You must be a Trumper. Oh, you don't agree with MAGA? Oh, well, you must be on Kamala's side. No, motherfucker. I'm a free thinker. Herm is a free thinker. Lynch is a free fucking thinker. Don't put us in a box. Ask the right questions. None of these people ask the right questions, but they demand answers from you. And I appreciate, and I'm going to say this out loud, because I don't want to get too hot. We got a couple minutes to go, then we have to switch over to Speedway. I appreciate the shit out of you two, because we can have these conversations. We don't get hot. Nobody's yelling. Nobody's threatening each other with violence. And we get through it as adults. And at the end, if we were all in the same room like we used to be, we'd shake hands, have a beer, except for Lynch. He'd have apple juice. And we'd go about our merry fucking business. Tell me where I've told a lie.
Case in point, the post last night. Oh, you're the exception to the Trumper. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not a Trumper. I'm a realist. I do what I think and believe what would be right for the country. He hasn't done a lot right now that I see is right for the country. Other than the border, he shut off all federal funding and grants today. Any federal grant you have.
That's shit that nobody thinks about, like Head Start programs, and there's lots.
A lot of that stuff will be moved back because somebody's going to tell him. And that's the beauty of the checks and balance system, much like with the other thing, with the birthright citizenship that is outlined in the 14th Amendment.
Right.
Somebody's gonna have to grab him by the collar and say, you can't do this.
Have somebody on his team and be like, sir, you can't do that because of this. Because
No.
as we've heard from the first term, when you tell him that, you're fired and he replaces you.
That's great, but the law is the law, and checks and balances are checks and balances, and it has to go through the Congress, and the
I
Congress
understand
isn't going to
that.
play
I
his
understand
bullshit.
that, but him doing that and the undue stress it causes on everybody involved isn't really necessary when he really can't do it in the first fucking place, is what I'm saying.
Correct. And the fact that you and I and Lynch and Marsh, if he were here, or if we were to bring in any one of the people that we know that could have an adult conversation without just absolutely. I got told, I'm a guy who every week sits in a room with a big Polish guy and a big black guy and a Danish guy, and I'm a racist. I have a thing for big booty Latinas. I think if you're going to deport anybody, deport the gangs, leave the big booty Latinas for me. I don't understand that how if you just don't blindly agree with someone, they put you in a box. We have lived through that we can remember. I don't know how far back your memories go. I remember the Iran hostage situation. I remember Grenada. I remember Ollie North. I remember the blowjobs under the desk. I remember 9/11. I remember Obama standing up in that first inauguration speech talking about a stronger border, and all of a sudden Democrats want to forget that Obama ever said that. Oh, let's open the border. Let's be kind and loving and hold hands and sing Kumbaya and watch Barney. Fuck you. I am with the president on the border. I am not with the president on just about everything else. Men and girls sports, yes, I'm with you. The border, I'm with you. A lot of that other shit, dude, what are you fucking drinking? For someone who claims to be a teetotaler, you have to be getting fucking drunk on Mad Dog 2020 every night to say some of the shit you say. And we all know, we've said it. Donald Trump says some outlandish shit. We know this. We're not stupid.
Indeed.
What people need to realize is that there are people out there, like the three of us, that understand this, and we take it with a grain of salt. If you take everything that man says at face value, you're going to give yourself an ulcer. You're going to be dead at 61. You're going to lose your shit.
We said all this about changing Denali back to Mount McKinley. He's just talking out of his ass. And
but he can do those things are things he can do within the legal law. You know, the other things are outlandish.
Right. But the problem is that with the directive order comes a change in how everybody is given directives down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a complete change in attitude. And basically Basically, it's every dick cop on the planet's heyday right now.
Mm-hmm. Good call. Mm-hmm. All right, as we get ready to
in school that you were like, that dude's gonna grow up to be a dick cop. It's their fucking time to shine, and that's my problem.
Not every cop is an asshole, but every asshole becomes a cop. And I grew up in a cop family. I can say this with more knowledge than anybody else. So, to you guys out there who disagree with me, fuck you and fuck you and fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. Anyway, we gotta close this out. Speed review. It's at 8 p.m. We are drafting our 2025 fantasy teams, and Herm's gonna go nuts about the fact that Cup cars are running on a quarter mile again, and I'm with him. So when he's done mowing the lawn, I'm burning the house down. Thank you guys for being the objective, smart, critical thinking human beings that I know and love for 30, 40, 50, 60, 90 years.
120,000.
Same.
Whatever.
Word.
It's all relative.
All right. Peace out.
Later.
We live in a simulation.
The Earth is flat.
Earth! Earth!
What do you call a nun in a wheelchair?
What?
Virgin Mobile.
Ooh, see, the thing is about your gender, it does not exist.
I gotta go.
Bye.